Hi, this is that are located, including one with big picture windows. Looks like a very tacky box picture with large windows. You get that sometimes in America, large windows. Across the street from where I'm located at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 98133. And there's an array of retarded people, including a retarded person named Stephanie. She's so stinky, you could smell her through the wall. A couple of black guys that were hanging out in the wall, you could smell them through the wall. Stinky Stephanie smells like a personal problem. It smelled like garbage dumps. It was like a trip to the city dump. And Stephanie and I could actually go to the wall, and they're hanging out in an empty janitor's room. And these are Bloods that I'm talking about. And they have threatened me. And you can hear them in the storage room or janitor's closet. It's supposed to be empty. This is endorsed by the Bloods managers at 10507 Aurora Avenue, Washington, 98133. This is a DS apartment building. I actually pay rent. Everybody here is a Blood. And they're practically all retarded. And the managers are just retarded street people. They've also threatened me. Well, I've been threatened at Arco, sort of near it, at where the bus stop is. And I've been threatened with various neighborhood. I don't go to those places, but I have to walk off the bus. There's a motel in the basement of 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 33 walls, you name it. And threatening to put somebody in Zeta, at least, that I've heard for 13 years now. 13 years ago when I informed on a meth lab, and that's where some of my trouble started. Lab below me was making me sick. There's a whore chanting illegal things to people go along with it. Induct me. I let myself be inducted. Toxins in my water that bleached my hands. Not returned unsealed and I have to be careful. People that painstakingly sex together after you shredded them, same mentality will also things back together, such as yogurt. You have to watch things. I got very high. It was like a granola bar. It was a fig bar. Up with something I had to eat that was higher than a kite. And I thought absolutely are in on human slavery in this area, and they might even appearances along this route. Not just 1 year, not just 10 years that on white slavery and slavery, just as these Bloods are in this building, including Stephanie and the retarded, smelly guys. Stephanie's white, so just remember, behind a black Nazi, there's a retarded white person who wants to use. They don't care about they just care maybe about their particular setup. Will bring them some money. They'd probably sell out their grandmother involved in human sex. And she looks like an oddball. Told me in that Riley's lessons, which is, talk and, one has to be very careful of and the Palm Street place neighborhood. And there was a threat in regard to the Dancing Bear, which, I wouldn't go to anyway. But that one was used as a threat to hold me there and to prostitute me, but also to make meth. Done, and I'm not on meth. I'm on 507 Washington, involved in human abductions, the rape. The two black men were talking about Gallon today. They were talking about, because they don't have cars, talking about your blood. They want to drink your blood. They have a fetish for drinking blood and own semen. It is typical of, they're into blemishes for the bodily vampire, they're demons. And I'm not going to say that the dentist seems to sound like someone who comes in here who likes garbage. he comes into this building, take people's teeth, even the more, and dental records, even, 50s, and probably a little bit before, people were often found records. It's about the fifth crime expert to be an expert. One of the symptoms of the mental illness within the gang organization, they all think they're FBI. If O'Reilly is going to hold people a willing captive, and I have no agreements with this, I haven't had any for 13 years, everybody's an acquaintance. Among other things, it seemed like everyone was a dirty, filthy agreement with them. There are no agreements to go off with anyone. Anything to do with anybody, really. And this is the relationship I have with the neighbors. Do you see the dressing door? A heavy object, and the door as well. I've had to block off the other areas due to the fact that they've threatened to chop through the floor. I have motion detectors, and I believe that they have been able to access, which is below, from behind 329 storage room. That is not a act like you're crazy. Secret passages, secret stairways, secret wall crawl spaces. Viral Nova, I enjoy that site. Have I seen lately secret construction areas in regular houses that people find, or is found in their storage room or their basement even. What I might do is just leave this on to hear people. You shouldn't hear people. Those are right now. They're absolutely in a janitor's room. And the whores is playing on. I think one of the whores who works here, she has blonde hair. She looks like she has a syndrome, like fetal alcohol syndrome. I think it is. She has strange around the mouth, and she's got kids, I think, all of them. People to society. They're not the people who worked here, was in the wall earlier. Room. Possibly. She were normal for to their friend. So that woman's about in. So O'Reilly's is people off at day. Let's cover that. So and dancing. So when you're in a bad neighborhood, I think a good lesson, don't trust a business. Don't rely on them. Help you. That would be a good lesson. So I think what I'm going to do on, so you can just sort of hear things. You might not necessarily see anything, but let's have hear things. Muffled if I leave it there. That's a swearing. My motion detector is going to go off, and I can't find. And dyed her hair blonde. She has something funny about her face, like she is a Carolyn Delaney's, or I'm thinking fetal alcohol syndrome and white trash, basically. Whore is saying, I just got lab done. Would you like one of the whores in the janitor's room? She's taking people's chakra, mind, or brain, and pretending that she's some sort of some sort of scientist. I'm actually turn this off so I can get busy cursing people, and then I'll come back on later. Whenever the threats get heated, I shall turn it on. By O'Reilly. O'Reilly's can't be trusted. The street from 507 Washington, and the Palma Street is across the street as well. So, but if you're going north on Aurora to zombie drones, I would like to stay an ill person. I have asthma, allergies, chemical sensitivities, and these people often tend to give anything because the bums have house wash everything that I touch because they're filthy people that stink. Its own apartment that smells like also smells like urine. These people, gang members, group homes. Actually, it's ironic, but a lot of actual special ed that I would see in the Hi, this is Lisa Guthrie. I'm at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington. 983. I got that board. That's for my back. And also, it'll be harder for people to break through the floorboard and inject me as they've threatened with a board underneath. I assume it would bend a needle. One of the whores is talking about straitjacket. She's hiding out illegally in the janitor's room. And one of the aggressive sounding women that was in the janitor's room was the actual janitor whore that deficiency. Well, she does. She wouldn't be working here if she didn't. White trash. She's dyed blonde, straight hair. 5'8", probably 40s. And by the way, I came back on because one of the bums at 10507 Aurora Avenue North, Seattle, Washington, 981342, you can see, impeding the door. Apparently, he threatened to have London as nourishment. And he's a blood, and all the bloods are cannibal zombies, and they are into bloodletting, eating people's plasma and body. Some of them have actually they've cut at the Pike Place Market. I tend to think it's not all, and even if we're talking spirits, it's pretty serious. It's very serious anyway. But I tend to think if you're not interested in spirits, I think that some of them actually have been in on cutting up bodies as evidence. The evidence against them. And that seems a prevalent crime and blood. And they also have body fetishes, including for dead body parts, including hands. So let's drop all those sort of preconceived ideas of thinking of it's just black people, just Hispanic. It's not. It can be white Anglo-Saxon, whiter than I. It could be, and I'm not all white, by the way. It could be, someone who's a term other that might be surprising to you. But all the bloods seem to have a body fetish. It's a symptom of mental illness, their state of mind, and can go into deeper paranormal reasons. Let's suffice to say all worshippers. And they're every bit as bad as who was killing people years ago in California, and he was a Satanist. But drop all your preconceived ideas, because I've seen what might be sorority girls and children that belong to the bloods talking about bloods and also trying to take blood by invisible methods and licking. They weren't just innocently licking the air. They were trying to obtain blood. They're all interested in whether visible or visible. And what I've learned about the invisible, surprisingly enough, sort of an abstract concept, but the invisible sometimes is visible, but these people of or being them felt wounds like you and I felt. But but this is my hand that actually was burned in the shower or on a weekend where the sink smelled like a laboratory in the tub. have to bring water into this location. It's 10507 Aurora Avenue, Seattle, Washington, 98113. They've made another threat just now about Europe, and they're calling themselves Europe. You'll find the Bloods like to call themselves all the names of people that they have tormented, or in some cases it's people. It's a zombie. You get, maybe an Hispanic non. So they're just terming everything under Mexican or under black people, or the retarded whites doing that. And then you get them, they're turning it around, and they've tormented British people. They're calling themselves British men, when it's some just American bum. And British. Target, those are the same people you find online trying to get cozy with the British people. And if you are out there listening and you're from other countries, the reason why they're trying to get cozy with you now is because they fell with destroy you. Enslaved. And no American is even worth the vacation. You are wasting talking to lovers and worshippers and all manner of evil people.